So these guys are apparently trying to get women to understand if the tables were reversed or the tables were turned, how they would feel in a man's position.
Consider you're a man and or your boy in your formative years going through puberty. The majority of your interactions are on social media.
Yep.
And so you get to this point where you get a little bit older and then you start talking to women. And then like what you're talking about, Monica, a lot of guys won't get that because they're afraid to talk to women.
Exactly.
It's not very popular, not traditionally good looking. And so what happens is now they keep guessing wrong whenever they have these interactions. And because they keep getting wrong, they get punished. They don't understand why they're being punished.
They get down about just the relationship. Yeah.
I think that's true.
I came out as bisexual last year, and since then, I have been dating women. And what I found very fascinating is that the more I date women, the more I find myself understanding heterosexual men. Let me
Yeah, of
explain.
course.
Exhibit A. I was on a first date with a girl who asked me out, by the way. This is relevant, because when the check came, she never once made a move to pay. Not
That's
even like
so
the fake let me reach for my
funny.
purse move. And though I don't mind
Look at that guy's face. Yeah, at that point, like in that scenario, who pays? Interesting. Everybody wants to be the princess. Nobody wants to be the prince.
paying on a date, part of me felt like, the offer would have been nice. I was also a little taken aback that she didn't even say thank you. And
Wow.
I never heard from her again. It really
That's just a rude person at that point. Like, you don't even say thank you?
made me feel like she
Damn.
just asked me out so she could have a free dinner. And the moment I thought that, I was like, oh my god, I sound like all of my guy friends right now. And my
Dang.
argument against why guys should pay for dates has always been like, look, girls take hours to get ready. Our investment is looking really nice for you. Makeup, clothes, that costs money too. But we were both girls in this situation. We both took hours to get ready, so I definitely
true.
felt slighted. Exhibit B. On another date, I went back to a girl's house and I ended up making friends with her cat. That's not a pun. I'm talking about her literal, actual animal. And she said, wow,
Uh-huh.
my cat never likes anyone. I better go out and buy a wedding dress.
LOL. So they do say that, like, the whole joke, isn't it, that like lesbians like bring out the moving truck? Like, that's the whole joke. The joke is that they are like, okay, time to get married. We met yesterday.
And again, I felt like I got some serious perspective. I have been guilty of making these kinds of jokes on dates with men. I never really thought anything of it. I was just being silly. But then when I was on
I love how he keeps popping in and out of frame. Bro, just stay there.
the receiving end of it, I suddenly understood the panic. And finally, Exhibit C. One girl invited me back into her house, and her specific words were, do you want to come in and make out? Obviously, I'm like, yeah, you're really pretty. I want to press my face to yours. But then when we got there, we both just sat on the couch, and she talked till like 3 a.m. And I was like, yo, girl, I gotta wake up at like 6 a.m. I was told there would be kisses here. There are no kisses. And like, look, I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, I don't mind talking. I love talking.
To be fair, she's the one that said that. Like, she said, can we go in and do this? And then when they went inside, that's not what they were doing. So that's valid.
But she could have said, do you want to come in and just talk? I
Right.
would have had totally different expectations for the evening. Finally I started falling asleep and I was like, hey, I gotta go. And I gave her one
Dang, she bored you to death. You were bored to death.
kiss and left. And I felt sad that the amount of kisses promised did not equal the amount of kisses delivered. And once again, I felt like a dude who was upset that I did not receive the expected physical kisses I was promised. And I wanted to talk about this because I felt like this has really been expanding my perspective when it comes to dating. I finally understand a lot of the complaints my male friends have about dating that I admit I would usually dismiss. But now I really get it when they say, dating is just so expensive, man. Sometimes I feel like a girl doesn't
Welcome to the drill. We've been going through this.
So would you say that those roles
I love the different mustaches.
of like gender, like the male and female roles show up even in same-sex relationships?
Yes,
Like
yeah.
the provider and the...
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
I think it's interesting how she picked up on that. She said one thing and then did another. I do feel as though we as women we can do that if we're not extra conscious of that.
That's crazy.
But I think it's more of a lady trait.
Yeah, well, I mean, the number one thing, and again, it's nobody's fault here, because trying to explain attraction to women, like a lot of times you guys don't understand what you're attracted to. You understand what makes you feel comfortable, but it's like when women say things like, I want a man who's kind, reads books, takes care of animals, and buys me flowers. It's like, no, you want a man you're attracted to be kind, who reads books.
Yeah, duh. Is this debate? Have we been debating this? Yeah, the attractiveness part is like already give us like the obvious one. You obviously want somebody attractive, so you only say like the things that are aside from that. In
Books,
addition
buys you
to,
flowers, but you leave that part out. Women rarely ever say that first part, and because of that, guys are like, oh, she wants
because it's obvious. We don't have to say that out loud.
got to be nice, girl. I'm gonna go. Can we go on a date? What are these? Oh, these weirdos. They're hitting me up all the time. Why are these weirdos hitting me up? Because you said you wanted a guy who's going to be nice. I had Masha Daidu come on my podcast one time. She goes, I just like guys who are really nice. I'm like, shut the, I love you, honey.
To be fair, guys do the same exact thing though. When they say, oh, I just want a girl that like, I want to ride or die. I want a girl that does this and that. If the ugliest girl on planet Earth had all of those traits, they would not date her. Like, You act like it's not the same both
But shut the
ways.
fuck up. You don't like guys who are nice. You like super handsome, rich dudes who are nice.
Go ahead.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
But it really does boil down to what she was saying about organic. Like there is that attraction. You meet them in person. It's not online. It's not fake, right? Like there has to be some attraction there.
So like more to your point, we need to make a distinction between arousal and attraction. Okay, so there's a like when you ask a woman, what are you looking for in a man? Oh, I want a guy who's likes puppy dogs and rainbows. And my mom likes him, and he wants kids in the future, and he makes X amount of money, and he's educated, has a great personality, all this very long-term kind of qualities. But if I say, what about a guy really gets you off? Like, okay, he's got to have biceps, he's got to have a V taper, he's got to have a six-pack.
No,
they won't even say that.
They'll say dad bod. I don't care how tall he needs to be.
Exactly.
They'll say this nonsense, and then you see who they date, and it's like,
Hey, I always own up to straight out of jail with face tattoos.
of course,
yeah.
you are.
She said straight out of jail with face tattoos. And well, from looking at her, that does not shock me. So I'm gonna let it slide. And hey, they need love too.
One with your
Love during lockup.
Yes. There's the arousal factor, which has to be there before you get to the long term. Oh, he likes rainbows and puppy dogs, and my mom loves him.
Duh.
There's got to be those two. I keep telling even my guys, like you have to
I didn't realize we were stating the obvious.
have a certain level of arousal factor for you to even get your foot in the door in the first place.
Yeah, I can understand why a lot of these kind of like the angry pill guys and the incels always are screaming in the comments. Pay attention to their actions, not what they say. Pay attention to what they're doing and not what they're saying. I get it. I feel for them in that. I think if we as women did learn to be a little bit more direct, I try to keep it like 3 to 5 sentences and then end it with a question. Actually, Michael taught me that, end it with a question. And then
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna tell myself how many sentences I should limit myself to. Like what?
for me, that seems to be the best kind of communication when I'm communicating with the opposite sex.
There was a guy just this morning, as a matter of fact, it was in my Twitter feed, and there's this guy who is just absolutely yoked. You could tell he's on gear or something. His tweet or his message, it might have been on Reddit, was, "This is the body I have after 14 years of putting this time and effort and energy into it." And the girl that he wants is with a guy who makes less money, has no muscles, is just like sort of this emo kind of weesh guy. But that's the chick that he wanted to get with, is with that kind of guy. And I'm like, that's because your body and your being built doesn't insulate you from being congruent,
You're
having
not
game,
then
having
entitled.
you're still
True.
blue-pilled.
Okay,
You still
yes,
think that this
exactly.
is the way things ought to be, and all you have to do is gross out in one area, like money, muscles, and game. He grossed out in muscles because that was his greatest strength.
Money, muscles, and game. He said it and it rolled off his tongue like that's their like motto here on this podcast. That's so funny.
Right? To his credit, right? But everything else suffers as a result of that. So he's not the complete package anymore. He's just
Yeah, like you can't be the dumb guy, me work out, me work out. Nobody wants that. Like the dad bod thing, like you just have to be slightly above average attractiveness. You don't even have to be like the hottest guy on earth or like a model and just have like good personality. And the thing too is like these podcasts, they're all in like Miami and these places. I mean, you saw the girls that they're talking to. Like those are the types of girls that they are talking about. They don't ever factor in that there are normal chicks out in like Montana that don't act like this and don't think these ways.
he's really good at being big and everything else, but if you can't carry a conversation, if you don't have any personality, if you just stumble, you trip over your own dick. That's just the way that
Wow.
you're not going.
It must be really, really big.
Not even to be mean, I feel like Gronk is that. Like Gronk is just like, and I've heard Gronk and like he's not that dumb. It's just he looks and kind of sounds it. I'm sorry, Gronk, I love you.
I think there's some girls.
I would say, and at this stage in the game, the men are lacking, but the men are most lacking in the social skills. I think if the majority of men, and this is somebody that I talk
The
a lot
younger
about
ones,
money,
for
if the
sure.
majority of men could just get it together socially, I think the rest would follow. But I also have to say, I think it's due part to not only social media, but like this online dating. This online dating is really fucking all of us over because it's so low effort.
And COVID, well, I would say COVID is a big part for like younger guys because they haven't had like, I guess, practice out in the field. But she's
People
right.
even talk about, well, I ghosted somebody, that I had a date with him on Friday. You've never met him.
Yeah.
You've never met him. Did you even really ghost him? Do you even know if he was real? We don't even know who ghosted who. You guys have never met. It's kind of sad because we continue in this loop of like, we
Is it like a ghosting if you've never met? Like, what are the ghosting rules?
don't have a lot of social skills, but yet we're not actually making real plans, going out on the real date and going in person.
This is a constant question that I have been asked really since the beginning of this year. Okay. And when we look at
Also, what does this old geezer, no offense, know about dating right now? Like how many years old? How old do you think this man is? Tell me in the comments. We're gonna guess. How old do you think this dude is? And what's on his head? The hair is popping out, so I don't know what's going on there.
fictional depictions like adolescence and all these questions about what's happened to masculinity. Why are men falling off? Why are guys, they're socially inept? What's the crisis of quote unquote masculinity? And it all comes back to that social skills thing, where it's one thing to understand what's going on and talk about it and everything else. It's another thing to take action. It's like guys simply just don't want to take action. And the reason why they don't want to do that is because they're online all the time, just commiserating about this kind of stuff. And what happens is, and I'm using this term in the clinical sense, their social skills are retarded. They literally are, they have to catch up to that. So when he's doing MOA and I'm doing Reignite, I'm trying to help guys sort of, reintegrate themselves back into the sexual marketplace, or these guys trying to integrate into the marketplace in the first place, right? What we're teaching is not game, it's not pickup artists. Social skills is what it is that they didn't get along the way, because when we learn social skills, we do by.
I mean, that's what it's just Riz. That's what he's talking about. Social skills, okay, are Riz. Is Riz. You just need Riz. They got to learn Riz.
Doing by observing behavior and aping that behavior. If you are not seeing that live in real time all the time, and you're being brought up behind a tablet or a screen or a phone or something like that, you don't pick up vocal intonations, you don't pick up subcommunications, you don't pick up like facial expressions. I could raise my voice like this, and you don't hear that in a text. So it's like you wonder why there's this sort of this uptick in diagnosis of autism amongst young men right now. I don't think it's autism. I think it's just simply a lack of learning those social.
Imagine having such low social skills that someone diagnoses you as autistic. I didn't realize it was that drastically low.
Skills.
I would support
and so where the do they go to learn these social skills?
Where there were guys that came out of the country and they really did need to pick up like social skills when talking to women. So it's like Joe had attractive women there and we're talking to these men, and we literally had a workshop where it's like he told the girls, okay, show that you're really interested in this man. So, I'm touching his arm, I'm laughing, I'm asking him questions. And then just to show them like what it was like if a woman isn't interested, I'm crossing my arms, I'm answering with one word, I'm rolling my eyes. Like, because it really is down to the basics of like, they have no idea. Yeah. And so it's like there are
Who is
classes
she
like
teaching? What are these classes? Where you teach someone, this is what it looks like when someone doesn't like you.
Like I was there too, and it was honestly so fun.
Where you have the guys that are talking back and forth to girls, and then you give them feedback afterwards.
Exactly.
So it's like in a non-hostile environment.
I no.
So that they can understand what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong.
Exactly.
So consider you're a man and your boy in your formative years going through puberty. The majority of your interactions are on social media.
Yep.
And so you get to this point where you get a little bit older, and then you start talking to women, and then like what you're talking about, Monica, a lot of guys won't get that because they're afraid to talk to women.
Exactly.
It's not very popular, not traditionally good looking. And so what happens is now they keep guessing wrong whenever they have these interactions, and because they keep getting wrong, they get punished. They don't understand why they're being punished.
They get down about just the relationship. Yeah.
And some of them become very angry. If you're a man and you're trying to help other men level up, there's always going to be people who question you, hate you, think that whatever you're doing is fake. But for sure, it happens all the time. Like CJ's been my friend for we've been friends for like the last 15 years. In this whole situation, she sees, because other people that are in the space, no matter what good you do, everyone's like, you're just paying these hoes, or you're being toxically masculine.
They do say
It's in the comments right now.
I was just going to say, I got it right here. I got it right here.
Right
it's like,
fucking here.
It's like, I don't got $2,000 to learn social skills.
Yeah.
Do you have $14.99?
One thing that really
Oh my God, you're gonna tell this guy, hey, pay me $14.99, okay? I got the course, baby. Get over here if you're trying to learn.
$14.99
on Audible, you get it for free.
Start here.
But he'd rather.
Yeah.
Who looks at that guy and goes, man, I need to pay to have that guy teach me how to talk to women? He's getting the girls.
Or bootleg it from all the pirates.
He'd rather sit there on a free YouTube show and claim, oh, women don't bring shit to the table. I built the table. Sir, you couldn't build the table if you bought it from IKEA. You couldn't
wasn't even
do it.
good.
But you're sitting over there, you're in your comfort zone, you're in your warm house, and you're with your Postmates, and you're doing all that, and you're saying, women suck. I'll never get one, so I might as well just be angry on the internet.
Go ahead.
Interesting. I don't know why she's acting like they're angry just because they're giving their opinion. But anyway, yeah, isn't that crazy? So yeah, like when the tables are turned, it's interesting to see with a girl-on-girl relationship how that stuff works. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Love you. Thank you. Bye.